What's going on, everybody? My friends, it's the Beastly Gamer here. Wanted to do a little bit of, talking a little bit about the future of the Xbox One. But before I get into that, I wanted to let you guys know the footage here is Nintendo's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game, which came out over 25 years ago. And when the Turtles games came out in the arcade, me, my brothers, all my friends, we rushed to the arcades, we flooded them with quarters, spent tons of money playing this game. And when it came out on the Nintendo, yeah, it was a slight downgrade, but we still enjoyed the hell out of it. If you're a Turtles fan, I hope you enjoyed this footage. We also got some Super Nintendo Turtles in Time coming up next. Now I want to talk to you guys a little bit about DRM and about, I think, the direction that Microsoft is still trying to go with the Xbox One. Digital Rights Management is DRM, that's the abbreviation. And what it is when they implement technologies that impose restrictions on what you can do with certain items. And it usually involves, media, video games, movies, music, things of that nature. And I think that, when the Xbox One was first announced at E3 and these DRM policies were announced, of course the public, the consumer, raised Cain, and Microsoft had to, swallow its own hat, turn around, do a 180, and totally change the direction, or what appears to be the direction of the Xbox One. Now, the reason I think the DRM is still in the wings and waiting in the wings is because Microsoft's a big company. They have a vision, and their vision sometimes includes things that we as gamers don't particularly take to, like the Kinect. It's something that they are forcing on everyone with the Xbox One, and it's still going to be with this $400 white version of the Xbox One that does not include a Blu-ray disc drive. And the reason I think so, I'm going to actually go over a couple of things, but you guys will get the gist of it by the end of this video. No disc drive, no Blu-ray drive means a couple of things. First of all, if you're a Blu-ray owner and your Xbox One or your video game console is your predominant means of playing your Blu-rays, this new Xbox One is going to completely eliminate the possibility of that. It's going to eliminate the possibility of you holding your games, having your games, playing your movies, and it'll basically turn your Xbox One into a glorified Netflix box that you actually have to pay full price for your games on. Imagine if you had a Netflix box and you had to pay full price for a movie before you could watch it, but it was just stored on the Netflix box. That's the problem with digital downloads, and that's why I don't like it. Also, if they get rid of this Blu-ray drive, they'll no longer have to pay royalties to Sony, because Blu-ray is actually something that was created by Sony. So whenever an Xbox One is made and manufactured, royalties have to go back to Sony because they're the brains behind it. Okay. Also, another thing about this Xbox One, it still has a Kinect. Nobody wants the Kinect. But pretty much everybody I've talked to about this, who own Xbox Ones, who are thinking about getting an Xbox One when the price drop comes, we're all expecting a $400 Xbox with no Kinect, which is basically the Xbox that's out now without a Kinect. Microsoft seems to be doing the opposite of that. They want to get rid of the Blu-ray drive and make you have to, basically go through Microsoft for any kind of video game transaction that you want for your console. That is a form of DRM. It means that you have to go right through their hub to do anything on that console. Anything has to go through Microsoft, through the Xbox Live service. And I think that's incredibly restrictive. It's totalitarian, and I do not like it personally. Another thing that I want to talk about with you guys is pricing. Okay, now, digital video game pricing is something that I've always had an issue with, because on the PlayStation Network and on the Xbox Live service, when you get a new game that comes out the day of, the physical release, those prices match each other, and that should never ever happen. Because if you're downloading something, the hub that you're downloading it from is losing no property. They're losing nothing. They're doing nothing but 100% gain, 100% profit, because they're not formatting or creating a disk. They're not creating shipments. They're not sending things anywhere. It's going straight from the internet, directly downloaded to your console, and they're making 100% profit. I feel that if you're going to be doing a console that's download only, the consumer need to get a nice, pretty decent discount over a physical iteration of a video game. Physical copies, guys, you get to hold that disc, you get to hold your box art, you get to sit it up, in your entertainment center and look at your collection. Now, if you got a digital collection, what are you going to do? Flip through the screen and brag? It's not the same. So these games should not even be close in price. If you're paying $60 for a physical copy of a game, let's say Assassin's Creed Black Flag, you pay $60 for that physical copy. I don't think you should have to pay more than $40 or $35 for a digital version of that game, because those two things are completely different. And we did learn with Sony, when we had the Sony blackout in 2011, that sometimes digital copies go wrong. Sometimes your technology works against you. With Sony, when their network was down after being hacked for 2 months, you couldn't even access your games that didn't even need to be online, because that's how these things work sometimes. Sometimes it's like maximum overdrive. The technology works against you. So I really honestly don't see too many people, jumping on the bandwagon of this Xbox One, because this is going to change the landscape of what a console is all about. We have consoles so we can have our collections next to our consoles. Don't you like looking at your collections? Look at your PS3, look at your PS4, look at your Xbox, look at your Xbox One. You have games next to it. If you got old consoles, you got stacks of games. Those are things that make you feel good as a video game owner, as a person who's into this genre, a person who does it as a hobby, to actually have games and hold games and have physical copies you can lend out to people. This download-only bullshit is basically DRM. We already know how Microsoft wanted to do this. If they get the opportunity, I'm pretty sure they're going to go straight forward with their plan. That you can't loan it to certain people. You got to do this, you got to do that. It's coming straight digitally from Microsoft, so they're going to see everything that's going on with the console. This is their DRM coming back. This is their way of sneaking it back in. Another thing, you get this hard drive. It's a 1 terabyte hard drive. And for those who don't know what a terabyte is 1,000 gigabytes, and a gigabyte is 1,000 megabytes, which used to be a lot. A few years ago, a gigabyte, you could operate 20 computers on that. 20 years ago, 10 years ago. Now a terabyte's nothing. A terabyte's 1,000 gigabytes. Now with these games coming out, you're looking at 40, 50 gig games. 40, pretty much that's going to be the standard with the Xbox One and the PS4. These games are huge. They're on Blu-ray formats. They're gigantic. So you're going to get, 25 games on a 1 terabyte hard drive, which is going to create major problems with your Xbox One if you do go out and dumb out and get this download-only version of the Xbox One, because Microsoft has made it a void of your warranty if you do remove the hard drive and upgrade. Again, Microsoft is working against the consumer. You get, what happens when you get to that point? You got 23 games. What if you're a hardcore gamer? What if you get a discount on your games? You get 20, 25 games, and then you run out of space. And then you have to delete a game and reinstall a game. Delete a game. You don't want to get a 2 terabyte internal hard drive installed because it's going to void your warranty. I think this thing is a terrible idea. I think it's ridiculous that they're including the Xbox One's Connect again with this thing. As much distaste and disdain people have shown for this Connect 2.0, nobody wants it. Nobody's interested in it. The system's already huge. Okay? It's already huge. It already has a huge power brick. That's another addition, another appendage. And then you got this huge Connect 2.0. It's just gigantic. Get rid of that crap. Make the system more appealing to people who have eyes to see the PS4, who have eyes to see some of these other consoles. I mean, it's gigantic. It's big and white, not big and black, with a huge Connect. Get rid of that crap. Bring the Blu-ray drive back. People want their Blu-rays. People use their Blu-rays. Yeah, I watch Netflix a couple times a week. I like my TV shows, but I also have my Blu-ray collection. I like to, have my anime. I like to have my movies for nostalgia that are on Blu-ray to stick in there and watch it whenever I feel like it. You guys let me know what you think about this. Is this Xbox One a good idea? Is this the future of console games? Is this, I don't know. Is this going to be the direction of the Steam box? Is that where we're letting them take us? Or do you guys want to take back your rights as gamers and say, hell no, I want to have my shit with my shit. I want to have my games. I want to have my CDs. I want to have my Blu-ray drive games. I want to have my cartridges. Whichever iteration of game that they decide to create for us, we need to stand up and say, hey, look, I don't want download-only bullshit. Because if it's download only, you have the last word on what happens on my console. I want to be able to go to the store and buy it and do what I want to do with it. This is my little Xbox rant. You guys comment, rate, favorite, and subscribe. I'm the Beastly Gamer, and I'll see you soon.